Good morning, everyone. Tammy here with Qigong for Vitality. This is week 2 of our series, and today we're going to be looking at the yin organ, the lungs. And so I'm just going to move back and talk to everybody at the same time. Welcome to everybody at home. And so, as I mentioned last week, it's not exactly a workshop format, but there's a little bit of a discussion in the beginning so that we know which organ we're working on and what the benefits are and what it represents and all of that. Oh, Lauren, could I ask you to close the door? Thank you. I always forget to close the door. So this week is we're going to be focusing on the lungs. The lungs are associated with the season of autumn, so it's very nice for this time of year. The lungs are also associated with the element of metal, and that one's always a little hard to explain, so I've got some notes around about that. When we do the cleansing and clearing and releasing, we're going to be releasing grief and sadness. Sometimes it can get a little teary or some emotions might well up, and that's fine. I think I'll just put the tissue box over there. And nothing may happen also. So the idea is that if we have sadness or grief in our lives, it gets stuck in the lungs, and we'll want to clear that out. It doesn't always go away, but the idea is to try and clear that as much as possible. And when we nourish, we're going to bring in purity and a sense of purpose, purity, integrity. And I also just recently read that a sense of purpose can help us face life after grief and sadness, that we have a reason to live. If there's a reason that why we're here, and if we have loss in our lives, that sense of purpose helps to buoy us up and move us forward as we are confronting that sadness, that loss, that grief. We will be making 2 releasing sounds when we do the clearing, and we've done this before. The upper lobes of the lung is like a snake, and the lower lobes is like you're saying shh to somebody, and we'll practice that. And when we breathe in and nourish the lungs, it will be a beautiful, bright, white color, and potentially that would come from nature. We could think of a beautiful, bright, white cloud, or the white shining snow, or maybe a white flower, a white lilium or something. So I thought I'd just explain these things to you in the beginning and then do my little discussion because my memory doesn't fit everything into my head. Suzanne, are you okay with the light, or would you like to draw the blinds? Or you can move the mat a little bit. Thanks. So according to traditional Chinese medicine, the lungs are associated with grief and the metal element, and their primary function is to disperse and disseminate qi throughout the body. So qi is the life force energy, and prolonged and unprocessed grief impairs the lung function, consumes the qi. It kind of makes sense. When you're grieving, the life gets sucked out of you, right? And so qi is life force, and that leads to exhaustion, like you get very lost, and kind of the energy gets depleted. However, because we have night and day, yin and yang, there's always a polarity that the world kind of revolves around. And so with grief, it does have something to offer us. It makes us contract by nature, right? So sometimes we're very expansive, but grief makes us move within. And it encourages us to look within and identify those sources of sadness that we've been holding on to. And also the lungs give us the power to feel and express our grief, and it's important to feel and express that. And there's another really beautiful description of what the metal element is about, because with fire, water, earth, it's kind of easy to know what it is. Metal, I had a hard time getting my head around that. And so this is metal and its lungs. The lungs grasp the chi from the heavens and draw it inward into our body to use. I thought that was just so beautiful. So many practices that we do that we draw from the heavens. And so the characteristics of metal are hard, strong, and precise. And even the metals in the earth give it its inner structure and its value. So metals allow us to shine, to be brilliant, to inspire. And there's a component of flexibility. When you heat the metal, you can mold it and remold it many times. And so it feels like there's some like really good elements that you can draw upon when you think about metal, how malleable it is, and how strong it is, and how brilliant and shiny it is. And so those are the kind of characteristics that we can think about when we're thinking about filling up and connecting to that metal element. You may want to connect to the shine and the brilliance. You want to may connect to the strength or the malleability, whatever that might be. So as we begin the practice, let's, what I want us to do, so feel very comfortable on your hips. Just see if you're nice and comfy and you're not like, nothing's poking or catching or straining. And now what I want to do is get our hands and we put them onto the lungs. And you can keep your eyes open or closed and just start to feel in as we breathe in. Allow the shoulders to be soft, the elbows to be down, so there's no kind of weight in the arms. And we breathe in and feel the lungs expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, in through your nose or out through your mouth, whatever feels good. Just feel the way the lungs move inside the body. At once, it is respiration, but I also like to think of it as inspiration. Respire, inspire. That deep, long, smooth, beautiful breath inspiring us to exhale all the toxins and inspiring us to take the next deep, long, smooth, beautiful breath. Connecting with these organs, for breath is life. So the lungs keep us alive. And as we connect to the season of autumn and think of the falling leaves, perhaps as a symbol of death, but it also heralds the rebirth that comes around at springtime. And so the cycles of life continue. So we're going a little deep today, thinking about life, death, rebirth in a symbolic way. Connect in to the spirit. Inspire has the word spirit. Inspiration has the word spirit at its core. Connect to the spirit. Become present. Give thanks for the breath and for life. We gently bring the hands down to the knees. Open the eyes. How very sacred is this space? The space of the lungs, bringing life, bringing breath, inspiration. We bring that with us into today's practice. So we'll come straight up to standing. Gently move the props away from the mat and move this away to one side. We'll start with standing in Wuji. So for anyone at home, I do suggest that we do the practice barefoot because we want to get a bit of a grip onto the ground and have that stability. And at the same time, if you ever do get tired, and the same in the class, because there's a lot of standing, please feel free to sit down, grab a chair, At home, you can sit on a sofa and continue the practice. If we're doing something with the legs, you can always visualize your legs doing those things, and we can keep on doing the upper body. So let's begin with our whole body shaking. And so let's just start with shaking out. The body is very easeful during this practice. So we're trying to not grip on too much to anything, allow it to be quite fluid. The feet are providing the stability. And again, we're just starting that clearing, that dispersing and scattering of energy out through the hands, palm of the hands, down through the feet, out through the breath, down into the earth. Today, we're going to practice this with a little bit less of me talking and more embodiment. So let's just feel into it as a moving meditation and breath work. The breath can be deep, slow, strong as you wish, out through the mouth or out through the nose. So there's that quality of liberation, ease, freedom, letting go, surrendering. You can go fast or slow. You can lift your heels, you can tap your heels. Some of you have been here for a few weeks. You know that we have the option to strike the heels and have a percussive movement through the tissues, the connective tissue, very beautiful release of the connective tissue. And I've been doing a lot of study and research, and you know, there's this saying called muscle memory. Well, someone recently said, actually, the connective tissue stores the memory. Because the connective tissue is what braces us when we get tense, because it wants to protect the organs, right? So let's try and just smooth out that connective tissue, allow the connective tissue to just be supple and soft and so malleable that we bring the metal element in there. Can flow like molten, molten metal. Just let it all out. Just a few more moments. And then we will finish in 3, in 2, in 1. And let's go into Wuji. So feet, hips distance, a little bit of a space in the armpits. Palms are facing backwards. Fingers pointing down, soft shoulders, soft knees. Feel for the aliveness. Whatever it is you're feeling, just be aware of the sensations or anything that comes up. Keep on breathing. And release. So we'll come into our spinal twist. His feet are wider than hips distance. Knees are soft. And as we twist the spine, we'll let the arms go. So let's start straight away. The arms are like little propellers. And you can also lift the heel of the foot that's opposite to the twisting arms, if you like. So as you wish. I think I've mentioned this before, that if you feel like you're up in your head too much, keep your feet grounded. If you feel a little descending quality of energy, feel a little low, then please feel free to lift up those heels. And now today what I want to do is, we are striking the lower energy center, but today I want to strike the lung meridian, and the lung meridian is just under the collarbones. And so let's strike, oops, I've got a microphone here. So we're striking just that top corner of the chest, and it will activate that lung meridian, get the energy clearing. So the meridians are like a circuitry through our body. The lung meridian, keep on going and I'll just quickly show you. The lung meridian is under the collarbone and it comes through the arm and out through the thumb. So you'll see a lot of movements we're going to do with stretching the thumbs, getting into that lung meridian, clearing that channel. You can go a little higher up on the back. I'll keep it onto the buttocks. And let's finish in 3, in 2, and 1, and gently, gently come into Wuji. Now I'm feeling a little lightheaded. I don't know about anyone else. So let's just keep the breath very, excuse me. Dear me, looks like I'm clearing something already. Please feel free to hydrate whenever you need to. We just want to be very careful of the energy. Now, I noticed something about myself. If you notice something, take good self-care. There was a momentary lightness in the head. Now I think I'm stabilized. So just give yourself a moment to feel all the feelings, sensations, the quality of the energy, and release. So before we start the cleansing and nourishing of the lungs in the movements and the sound, we're going to open up the joints. So let's just feet like just under the hips, hands on the hips. And first we're going to do some chin circles. And then I may have done this with you before, where we make the arms like flex the wrists and go side to side, and then we curl them. So we'll do it in 3 phases. So let's just start with the chin, scraping the collarbones, ear to the opposite, to the same shoulder, sorry. Just keep on breathing and get all those nooks and crannies in that cervical vertebra, a little bit hydrated, start to get that part of the spine mobilized. And then let's bring our hands, you may want to just look up for this, let's bring our hands so the wrists are flexed and there's a nice little dip in the elbows. We don't want to feel like we're holding out, just very gentle and soft. And so what I'll do is we'll start like this, but you can always, it's a little bit of a coordination. So as we're trying to get a little mobility into the shoulders, the wrists, and the elbows, and we start to very gently move the chin from side to side. And now it's up to you whether you're happy to do this coordination move or you just want to do one of the moves. It's almost like, you know, patting your tummy and rubbing your tummy and patting your head or whatever it is, you know. Sometimes it computes, sometimes it doesn't. We just get a little bit of energy flowing through that lung meridian, through the thumb, up the arm to the collarbone. And then if you want to bring your head to circle around at the top, nose drawing a little rainbow, you can do that. But always be mindful of that very delicate neck. And we'll just do a few more of these. Last 2, last 1, and shake it out. Okay, we'll do some shoulder rolls like a locomotion, you know, kind of like the train moving. So we'll breathe in as we come up and around and breathe out. Oh, sorry, we're breathing in and breathing out as we kind of make a wave motion with the spine, in and out. And as we come in and pinch the shoulders together, and then we broaden the shoulder blades. So it's broad shoulders, pinch them together. And these are the shoulder blades, So as we get more expansive, we breathe in, and as we contract, we breathe out. And this is not just working the head of the shoulders, but the back of the shoulders. And get ready in a few moments to reverse this. And let's reverse. And so we're coming in, undulating, a wave-like motion. So again, we're starting to open up the channels, open up that energy, any stagnation. Opening up, closing down. Breathing in, breathing out. Shoulders, blades together, shoulder blades apart. And let's finish in 3, in 2, and 1, and meet in the center. Shake it out. This can, it can be quite like knotty at the back. So we will do some arm circles because we're going to do a lot of work with the arms. We'll do a little bit of arm circle work. So let's just do like a backstroke. Very fluid, flowing, smooth. Allow that ball and socket joint to really rotate around. Get beautiful lubrication from the synovial fluid. Keep on breathing through it, and then we will move in the other direction. Keep on breathing. Allow that flow. All of these, especially the joint opening, I want you to feel so smooth and flowing and fluid, because that's the kind of thing we want to mimic, excuse me, in the joints. We want the joints to be smooth and flowing and very easily articulating. And in 3, 2, and 1, let's meet here. Feet, just push them a little further apart. Hands on hips, and we're going to do the hip circles. And you can almost, sometimes I feel you can almost feel when that hydration is happening. Well, suddenly it goes from creaking and cracking to like feeling much smoother, almost like you're oiling, cogs in a wheel in a machine, right? And so as we move, the synovial fluid starts to hydrate all of those like areas that are articulating. And in 3, 2, and 1, let's go the opposite direction. Time. So again, always the intention in the class is to be very kind and gentle and soft and caring with the body, and actually start to get into a dialogue. The messages your body is going to send you through the tissues, through the skin, through the muscles, the bones, everything is telling you a story, whether, yeah, this is something that's so nourishing and good for me, or, oh, this is something that's not quite right. Tap into it, like really use your intuition and start to feel for what the body's even asking for. And let's finish in 3, 2, and 1. And now we'll do our knee circles. So feet are slightly closer together. Cup your palms on knees and circle. And if there's any lower back issues, please come up upright, but you're still moving your knees. So often it is, as we get older, the hips and the knees are the first things to, hips, knees, and shoulders, I suppose. So we like to keep these really well looked after, and gently go the other way. Let's see. I don't know, is it only my feet that are cracking? I don't know if you can hear them. Something's going on there. It's funny, actually, little old injuries. I had like sprained this ankle years ago, but it's never been the same. So I think that's what is cracking there. Isn't it funny that those injuries, they can last quite a while? And gently, we'll start to bend and stretch. So get a little bit of a stretch into the hamstring, and bend in through the quads and the hamstrings as well, the buttocks, the glutes. Even actually the calves are getting a little bit of shins and calves, just warming them up because we're going to be doing a little bit of standing. And make this 3, 2, and 1, and gently rise up, very gently. Shake it out. Okay, so let's go straight into the lung clearing. I think I need, so it feels like my lungs are releasing a lot because normally my throat doesn't catch. So we have a movement to clear the lungs. Some people have done it a few weeks ago. The idea is, I think let's get the feet a little wider than hips distance and a little bend in the knees. So just a light horse stance. And we start with a pose called holding up the heavens or supporting the heavens. And so I'll just show you in closer here. So the fingertips are pointing together. There's a bend in the elbow, and then we bring the hands up as if we're holding up the sky. And so this is the starting position. And we can also get a little bit of a lift in the sternum. We don't want to load the lower back, but the sternum is lifting. So the breastbone is lifting. And this is the breathing in. And as we breathe in, we oxygenate and really fill up that entire lung capacity. I'll just quickly show you, you don't have to keep your hands up. So when we're breathing in, make sure you breathe in deep, push the diaphragm down, open up the lungs. And you know, the lungs are 360 degrees, right? So we always think of the front of it. We never think of the back of it. So we want to like bellows the lungs out. And it might be a lot to think about. Just intentionally say the lungs are opening and the lungs are closing like that. Then obviously the lungs aren't round. They're more sort of shaped like lobes, right? But they open and close like this, or they expand and contract. So bring your mind into the back of the body as well, that we're barreling out and then we're contracting. And as we, so we start here and then we bring the hands down. The hands will stay flexed. There'll be a nice dip in the elbows. And when we breathe out and down, we have a few rounds of and then a few rounds of shh. As we breathe out that grief and sadness that may be stored in the lungs. And there may be nothing. There may be some small loss, big loss, there may be nothing, but let's just go along with it today. So we breathe in, and as we breathe out, we take a very long sound until we reach the end of the breath. So let's breathe in really deeply. And breathe in. Breathing out that grief and sadness. Someone's got a nice long lung capacity. Breathe in. So we're breathing out through the palms, down into the earth, down through the breath, anything that does not serve us, anything that is related to any loss, sadness. Feel that little bit of reverberation in the upper lobes. Last one. Now let's just shake out a little bit. One other thing that I didn't mention is that when we come down, when we come down, and I don't know if you can see it, but we want to bring the shoulder blades in, right? So we're kind of pinching them, but not too much, right? So the idea is that the lung meridian starts under the collarbone, goes through the inner arm and ends here. And so when we flex the fingers and the thumb, this gets activated and helps to clear this channel. So the next round of 6 is going to be sh. Eyes open or close. Use it as a breathing, moving meditation, and clear out what is available to clear out, what is ready to clear out. So let's bring the arms up to supporting the heavens and breathing out with a sh. 2 more. Last one. And let's bring the hands up to supporting the heavens one last time. Bringing in spirit. We're standing between heaven and earth in this sacred space. And gently let the arms float down. That can be quite taxing on the arms. Let's, I want to do a little bit of self-soothing. So let's we bring our hands onto our shoulders and just rub them up and down. Give ourselves some love, some tenderness. How often do we look after ourselves like this? And just so we're balanced and even, let's switch over to the other cross of the hands. Feel into those beautiful lungs, that beautiful heart that we have. And last few here. And release. And let's get into Wuji for just a few moments. Close the eyes and feel in for that very subtle, almost imperceptible energy field. Something different. What is that quality? You may not be able to name it, just feel it, feel into it. And gently release. So I have to say that I'm not sure over the weeks how you found it, but a lot of these very simple exercises are very profound and very deep, and you may find that something comes up later today, later in the week. Just go with it, flow with it. Make sure you're looking after yourselves, hydrating, nourishing yourselves with really nutrient-dense food. Take rest when you need to take rest. Really, just be so aware of your own body and mind's needs, because sometimes the energy will just happen and then you won't know what it is, and then you'll think, oh, maybe it was the Qigong. So when that happens, please be really mindful. And I know you might be in the middle of traffic or something at that time, but just make sure you've got water nearby. You can take some deep breaths. So now that we've cleared that out, we'll go into, we've made space now. And it's not that you'll get rid of all the grief and sadness and loss in one exercise, but we've made some space to now nourish. And the nourishing one is so very simple, but it's almost like you get into a trance when you do it. And I think we've done this one before, but let's start. Here we undulate the body a little bit. When we breathe in, we're gathering and bringing that beautiful, bright, white, radiant color into the lungs, gather and store. And so maybe it's the clouds, maybe it's the snow, maybe it's a white lily flower or a white rose or whatever. It's that beautiful, bright, white light, bring it into the lungs and then store it and feel nourished. So feet are just under the hips. And for this one, we bring the arms up, palms facing up, and there's a gentle bend. We always almost keep a gentle bend in the elbows, and the shoulders are very soft. And then we breathe in and we kind of arch the back, and then we flip the hands and we breathe out. And again, this is another one of these undulations. And we can be very slow with this. So as you breathe in, we're gathering that beautiful white, bright light. Maybe it's moonlight. And we're pinching the shoulders a little bit. And then we're coming forward and making a C shape. It's almost like a cat-cow standing, but very subtle, very gentle. And so as we inhale, we gather in that white light into the lungs. As we exhale, we store and nourish that vibrant energy. And we're breathing in purity, integrity, sense of purpose, and we're storing that in our lungs. And you can go as slow as you like. So there's a little bit of a rise and fall with the legs and a little bit of a extension and flexion of the spine. So we arch as we inhale and gather, and we make a C shape and curl in to store purity, integrity, purpose. Actually, there may be another word that comes up or a feeling. Just you get an idea. Let's just do this in silence for a little bit. Soften the shoulders. My white is the feathers on the head of a bald eagle. Just a few more undulations, a few more rounds. Arms are getting tired now. Removing energy, that heaviness of the arms. Let's make this the last 3. 2. And last one, just finish up wherever you are, and we can just bring the hands down by the side. Let's just shake out the arms a little bit. Come into Wuji and now feel. Just use your intuition for any messages from the body. Or you may just feel a beautiful harmony. And gently release. I'm feeling like we need to just massage the face a little bit. So let's warm up the hands and just gently caress the face. Just with very kind, caring hands. You may want to just rub over the top of the head, rub the back of the neck, just intuitively squeeze the shoulders, just rub into the collarbones. You can also tap into the collarbones, into the lung meridian, tap into the chest. Whatever feels good, you may want to tap onto the head. We're just getting a little bit of, it was a little trance-like, so I want us to come back. Maybe you want to tap onto the face, onto the neck. Just bring us back into the moment. Back, hands back onto the lungs. So much gratitude for the breath of life, for the sacredness of the breath of life. The spirit enters the body on each inhale and exits the body on each exhale. The first breath, the last breath. And release. So we'll go into our harmonizing and aligning practices before we go down. I'm feeling a little spacey. I don't know. Okay, I think we need to do some heel drops. So I'm just getting this. We need to get grounded a little bit, right? So let's just put the hands and just and if it's too much, you can just do small ones or you can just go up and down, but let's just a couple more of these. 3, 2, and 1, and release. Feeling a little bit better, Lots in my head right now. I'm not sure everyone else is doing. Was today's class a little different? I mean, they're all different, but today's a little more where two or more are gathered, spirit arises. I don't know. I mean, there's something different today. I don't know. And I saw that bald eagle in my head. Like, how pretty. I just saw the white feathers. So much grace and beauty and majesty in that beautiful bird. So white can be anything, you know, you can pick white from anywhere. It can be a flower. If you pick a flower, you can breathe in the fragrance of that flower. There's so many beautiful visualizations that you can do when you're nourishing the organs. Okay. What I suggest is we do, let's do koi fish in the pond and just harmonize and balance. And so feet are a little wider than hips distance, soft knees. And again, we're flexing the hands a little bit, but we're laying them flat in front of us like the hands skimming a pond. And we move from side to side as though these are koi fish in the pond, and the arms are so soft and light, as if there's no weight. There's only a little bit of feeling in the wrists because they're flexed like that. And you may want to just go so smoothly, almost make it almost like a figure 8. So again, that's a very beautiful sacred symbol. And that figure 8 movement again plays into softening, dampening down, fight, flight, freeze in the nervous system, activating the parasympathetic. And now as we go to the right, the left hand jumps up, palm to the sky. The fish has jumped out of the water, comes back down to join that right hand, and both fish move to the left. And then the right hand jumps out, the fish jumps out of the water, down. And we jump out, we move down, and then the fish float to one side. So it's a very beautiful moving meditation. Keep on breathing. Breathe in as the fish jumps up and out, and breathe out as we bend down. Breathing in into the lungs. So we move to the right, the left hand jumps out, and then that left hand comes around to meet the right hand. Both hands move to the opposite side, and then the left hand is coming out. Oh, sorry, it's the right hand. I'm trying to mirror you and do it at the same time. Allow the shoulders to be very soft, the hips soft. It's so flowing, like the body is a liquid. It's like with that malleable metal flowing in a different form. And let's make these the last two, so wherever you're at. Last one. And gently release. So we'll end up, yes, let's just do some shaking of the hands. We'll do a longer meditation today. So we'll finish with actually pulling up the earth. And we normally pull down the heavens. Let's pull up the earth today. So we cup the hands and bring them, the fingers together. The shoulders are soft, and as if we're drawing into the earth and bringing that beautiful earth energy up through the feet, through the body, up through the torso, and then we flip and we spread that earth energy mingled with the sky energy around us like a beautiful protective shield. And we bring up the earth energy again and flip up, mingle with the sky. It's like this recycling fountain almost. So we draw from the earth, and then we bring down from the sky. Let's just do a few more of these. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Let's end with bamboo in the wind. So toes together, feet together, hands on the lower energy center below the navel, lower dantian, and allow the body to sway. Just coming and going. If you close your eyes, you get off balance, you get back to balance. Just flow with the energy, how the energy is flowing. Keep on breathing gently. Be so gentle and soft with the body right now. And let's open our eyes and find center. And now we'll get ready to go down to the meditation. So let's get our meditation position ready, which is lying down on the ground. And I'll close that for you, Suzanne, once I've set up the position. So at home, if you've got a cushion, a bolster, a pillow, put it under your knees, under your thighs, wherever it feels comfortable. And then move ever so slowly to lie back down onto your back. The feet are long and the arms are long, hands by the hips, palms facing up. And I always like to just wriggle around a little bit, like let the feet fall away from each other, allow the shoulders to get nice and soft, the neck. Make sure that you're in a really comfortable position. Just take a few moments to feel into this position on the back. And any time during the meditation, please feel free to move into a different position if it's not comfortable. If you need to put your feet on the ground and knees up towards the sky, please do that. And Just feel into the breath. I can't get this one. Just feeling into the breath here. And as we soften into the skin, the flesh, the connective tissue, the bones, the marrow of the bones, the bloodstream, the organs, just soften, release and let go. Feel into a beautiful, kind, gentle awareness of the body. Soften into that. Slowly, piece by piece, surrendering into the earth. There may be areas where we're clenching, holding on, gripping around the jaw, the eyebrows, the buttocks. Just soften and release. The neck, the shoulders. We begin to focus on the lungs. We see a beautiful, bright, shining light. Maybe it's a moonbeam shining down from the celestial realm. Bright, glowing, radiant white light, filling the lungs, nourishing the lungs. Filling the whole torso. That vibrant, bright white light, enlivening, nourishing. How does it feel? Feel into the temperature, the texture. How does that color illuminate the mind, the spirit, the moonbeam shining down from the heavens, bringing inspiration. What is it that inspires you? What is it that brings a sense of purpose and meaning? Feel into that quality of energy, how it uplifts, how it restores. The purity, integrity of that beautiful white light shining down over the body from the crown of the head to the tips of the fingers and the toes. It infuses every cell, all the tissues of the body. The moonbeam shines into the mind, enlivening, restoring, invigorating that sense of purpose. You may not know what it is exactly, but it'll give you a feeling of elation. You'll be uplifted. Can you feel that elation in your heart? Allow it to reverberate throughout the body, the mind, the emotions, the spirit. Connecting with the breath, connecting with the heartbeat, the sacred breath, the sacred heartbeat. Feel that spirit inside of you, guiding you, shining through, now and always. Allow that spirit of beauty, joy, love to enfold you. Gently we come back to the body, back to the breath, to the sacred breath, this sacred body. Feel in our hearts how much love, gratitude we have for this life. We gently deepen the breath. Start to move the fingers, the toes, the wrists, the ankles. You can move the head from side to side. You may want to stretch the body from the fingertips to the tips of the toes. Just be mindful of the shoulders, the lower back. Breathe into it. Ever so slowly, bring one knee into the chest and the other. Just cross at the ankles and rock from side to side. Hands are on the knees. So the palms are cradling the knees and we're rocking like we're a baby in a cradle. So soothing, It's a beautiful movement to nourish that nervous system. And then we roll over to our right side into a fetal position. You can use the upper arm as a pillow, just integrate. Another very soothing position to be in. Transitioning back into the world. And we use our hands to push ourselves up very slowly. Please take your time. No rushing, up to a comfortable seated position. Okay. Hips are heavy, shoulders are down, spine is long. We'll pull down the heavens once. Let's bring some friction, warmth into the hands, and bring those hands outside our hips. Feel for that earth energy, pull it up. Grace and ease, and then gather the energy from the sky, from the heavens, cascading down, bringing us whatever it is that we need, body, mind, and spirit, back down to the earth, and then palm on palm, butterfly, onto the chest, bow our heads for this sacred breath, this very sacred moment in time, this practice that we have gifted ourselves today. The love, the light, the radiance and joy in me sees and honors the love, the light, the radiance and joy in you. We are now complete. Thank you. And to everybody at home, thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we'll be looking at the kidneys, which is related to winter. And I just invite you, any of the practices that you have done today, please feel free to just, drop into them anytime during the week. And I want to leave that up to you, because there may be something that speaks to you more than not. So if you can, a few times during the week, just any one of these movements, just practice that, some of the breathing, whatever calls to you at that moment in time. That would be very beneficial. And I look forward to seeing you all next week for round 3 of Qigong for Vitality. Bye-bye.